Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Power Play, and we're joined, as always, by Chris Emanski, the man behind the NHL. I don't know how to describe it. Our, not insider, because it's not like we have sources, but our just tangentially outsider to talk a little bit about the NHL. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian. How are you?
Doing quite well. I guess let's just get to it, Chris. We were talking last night. Maybe this is going to be a series recap. Maybe the Lightning were going to come away with it. But no, the Canadiens keep their hopes alive, down 3-1 by scoring a 3-2 overtime victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. What did you see last night, and what are your thoughts of the series going forward?
The biggest thing I saw is the Canadiens they're a great team at home. Mm-hmm. And they're playing up in Canada, where they weren't allowed to have people for months after American teams started being able to allow fans. So I think having that fan energy at the Bell Center, having those fans, having the fans rooting for you, having the hometown energy, that definitely helped Montreal last night. They were playing to win last night. They knew the position they were in. Yep. They know that they're the first Canadian team in 10 years to even make it that far.
Yep.
Let alone win the damn thing. Mm-hmm. So they played absolutely fantastic last night. Carey Price looked like Carey Price. Mm-hmm. I give him a lot of shit, but when he's good, he's a top 5 goalie in the league when he's on.
Yeah, so I guess obviously it's good for the league to keep the season going, and it's good for the Canadiens to keep their hopes alive. But if you had to be brutally honest, is this going to spark a reverse sweep, or are we just kind of running the clock out here, milking a little bit of extra hockey?
Well, at this moment it's harder to say than I think it should be, because the series is going back to Tampa. And supposedly, we're filming this on Tuesday. Supposedly, they're playing tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But the game is supposed to be in Tampa.
Right.
Where there's a hurricane about to come ashore.
Right.
In Tampa.
Yeah.
So the league says they're still going to have the game. Which, if they are able to play tomorrow night, I think the Lightning blow them out at home. They're another... Lightning's fan base is not a huge fan base being in Florida, but the fan base they do have is a very intense and devoted one. They're notable. Their arena doesn't allow fans to wear opposing jerseys. That's a real thing. You can look that up. If they see you wearing a Florida Panthers jersey when they're playing the Panthers, they will come and they will make you turn it inside out or leave. Yeah.
It's hilarious. I didn't know about that. That's dedication.
It was a whole thing in the first round because it was Tampa versus Florida.
Of course.
But, that was so if they are able to play tomorrow in Tampa, then I think Tampa pulls it off. But I'm not counting out Montreal entirely. They have a drive to win. They're trying to beat the defending champions. They're trying to bring home the Stanley Cup not just to Montreal, where it has spent a considerable amount of time in its history, but back to Canada.
Right.
Canadian team hasn't won a cup since 1993. When the Montreal Canadiens won.
So crazy to me. That's so insane.
So they're playing for their city, they're playing for their fans, and they're playing for their country. There's something really admirable about that, but I'm still not going to root for them.
Right. No, of course you can't. Got to be American here. Come on. Just have 4th of July. Can't give in. So what do the Canadiens have to do to actually have a chance to pull off the severely improbable reverse sweep?
Well, they did a good job last night of taking advantage of Tampa Bay's defense. Even with the elite players that Tampa Bay has, Nikita Kucherov last night looked like he was drunk. He played so bad. I don't know what's going on there, but if they can as long as they can keep up with the penalty kill too. Huge penalty kill last night at the end of the game. 4-minute penalty assessed to Montreal. So Tampa goes on a 4-minute power play at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
End of the game. The last 2 minutes, the last minute, and then the first 3 minutes of the overtime were power play for the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
So Montreal needs to keep up their penalty kill. It's been insane this whole series. Tampa Bay, which normally has great power play, just hasn't been able to take advantage. Carey Price needs to keep doing whatever he did last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just need to channel that positive energy that they're getting from their fans at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big thing. Hockey is such a mental game.
Right.
That it really having fan support really does make a difference. You notice that the teams that don't do very good don't have very good fan bases.
Right. It's kind of like a snake eating its tail. It's like, bad fan base, team does poorly, no one shows up, and just around and around it goes. All right, so is there anything else you want to touch on? Obviously, you've already said you think the Lightning will pull it out, but won't 100% count out the Canadiens, mostly because we want to cover our bases just in case. We don't want to look too dumb.
And right now, my prediction is looking good. So,
So anything else on the series you want to touch on?
Nope, just the Lightning, I guess.
All right. So the season isn't quite over, but we are looking a little bit forward to next season. We're going to talk a little bit about the Seattle Kraken and their new hiring. Chris, what can you tell me about that? Familiar face to some.
So they hired Dave Haxtell to be their head coach. He was a head coach for Flyers for 5 years. He got into the playoffs a few times. He's definitely not the worst choice they could have made. I don't know if they could have gotten anybody better. There were a lot of rumors that Claude Julien may have tried to go for that job, but
I'd be an even more familiar face for Boston.
Well, I love the Claude Julien story because every time he gets fired from a team, they do insane. The Montreal Canadiens, who he got fired from this year, are playing for the Cup.
What can you do?
So, I think Dave Haxtell is a good hire. He's gonna do well building that franchise. And last night it was announced that the Providence Bruins, our AHL minor league affiliate, their head coach Jay Leach is going to go to Seattle to be an assistant. Jay Leach took over the team after Bruce Cassidy, and the Providence Bruins have been one of the best AHL teams in that league, in that minor league.
Right.
And so that is another great hire by the Kraken. I can't wait to see what he does on that team and how he helps build that organization. I'd love to see how those coaches approach the expansion draft, which is just a couple of weeks away now.
Yeah, no, got it. Crazy. So obviously, good for him. Congratulations, going from the minor leagues to the professional league. Another step for him. I'm sure Providence will be missing him quite a bit. But so the draft, how far away is that?
So that is 1 second. We'll look at the exact date. Expansion draft date. It is July 21st.
Okay. So any Bruins players you think could potentially, get expansion drafted?
That's interesting because I've wondered if goalie Yaroslav Halak might be interested in going there. He's a free agent this year, but he might find himself going to Seattle. I can see that happening.
Right.
So it's looking like they might take Jeremy Lauzon.
Okay.
Who was a rookie this past year and who looked really good. Smith too is a big thing. They're thinking about taking him. Craig Smith and Connor Clifton. Those are the big three that potential targets for the Seattle Kraken.
Right.
I wouldn't say it would be overly huge losses for the Bruins. Doing a good job in keeping conversations up with Taylor Hall. We don't know what's going on with Tuukka Rask yet.
Right.
Indicated he wants to stay with the team, but I don't know if a team wants to stick with him.
Right. So we'll see. That'll be exciting to cover, as it's happening. We can kind of break it all down. So moving on from fun stuff to not very fun, very somber stuff. Over the weekend, the NHL lost a player in an accident involving fireworks. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So his name is Matiss Kivlenieks. He's 24 years old, from Latvia, and he played in the minor league system for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He was widely considered to be a potential competitor for the Blue Jackets starting job next year. He has played NHL games, including a couple of victories.
Yep.
Put out a very nice statement. So did the league. All in all, it's a waste of talent. You never like to hear about things like this.
No.
It's the whole story. We're still learning more about what happened. I guess what they had thought happened was he was at a party and they were setting off fireworks. It's the 4th of July, as people do. Yeah. And something got out of control. And at first they said, "Oh, he hit his head as a result of explosion," and the head injury is what did him. But then yesterday, the autopsy report was released, and it turns out he was chest trauma is what he died from. So basically, he got hit with the firework.
Jesus.
And we learned today that it was actually at one of the Blue Jackets' coach's house.
Oh, Jesus.
Where it happened. It was some kind of a party. I thought I saw somewhere it may have been a wedding, but I don't know how much I buy that. And all in all, it's just a sad story. A total waste of talent. He had a bright future.
Very young.
At 24 years old.
Yeah. So obviously, our thoughts, prayers out to his family, to the Blue Jackets organization, and yeah, not something you ever want to have to, talk about. It's just sad, man. It reminds you that like we're very fragile beings. Like this guy's a hockey player, and just one bad thing happened, and he's passed away. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going necessarily with that.
And there really isn't all that much more to say about it. We're still learning more about what happened. Yeah, it's just another damper on the NHL.
Yeah. All right, Chris. Anything else you want to cover before we get on out of here for this one?
I think that's going to do me for right now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about all these topics. Where can they find you online?
So on Chris_Uminski on Facebook as well.
So yeah, follow him there. You can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar. That's BMARR. The channel is on Twitter at WickedGoodSport. It's also on Twitter at WGEverything, Instagram WickedGoodEverything, twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything. Search us on TikTok, WickedGoodEverything, and the main channel is youtube.com/WickedGoodEverything. I think that's it. I think those are all the plugs I need to do. So yeah, stick right here for more hockey, NBA, and eventually we'll get back around to NFL talk when more interesting things happen. Right now it's a bit of a lull. But yeah, until then, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.